definitely enjoy yourself because we're just taking another step. If you haven't checked in yet, please do so. Check in with your stuff from last night, but a lot of great things going on, and it is a couple minutes past the top of the hour, so a lot of good things. We have a brand new calculator, and you're going to see part of it tonight, but I still got to do some, I got to make sure that, got to check some numbers on it afterwards, but I want to make sure we got everything really good on it. And we're going to absolutely take some time. This calculator does everything. It's got language in there for same or more. It's got language in. It's got historical look backs to all the marketplaces. It's got our Japanese stock market history in there. It's got the United States stock market after the Great Depression. There's nothing we don't have inside this calc, and links to your software. So Jerry, you've outdone yourself, beyond outdone yourself. And when we do the Index UL University, I will not be demonstrating this calculator this Saturday. So I can tell you we'll be sharing, well, in any rate, I'll be sharing the older version. And Jerry, I'm sure you'll agree with that. There's no way I'm showing our secret sauce because we are on the verge of just amazing things. So I'm going to be going through that this morning. I had a great meeting with Bobby Lutz this morning here in Virginia. I'll be back in North Carolina this afternoon. And we are pushing forward. A lot of things going on in the great world. So I am going to, right here, or a couple minutes past the top of the hour, I am going to take some time here and actually open up the calculator. And we're going to do like this. And I am going to enable editing. We're good there. And you can see all these things are in there. Nothing's changed. You got red line, blue line. Then you got a better way to save. Now, one of the new things on this calculator to the right, you see all these companies over here? Here's all your links to all our companies. You can open up the illustration software. So if I want to go like this and open up National Life software, I just click on the link, and it'll take me right to the National Life web page. Open up my software page for National Life. I'm on a very slow web server here at a coffee shop, so you're going to have to bear with me a little bit. But and I absolutely just lost. I want to go back, put that back up there. But yeah, there's links to the different websites. You'll see over here, I got a link to my presentation, thanks to Jerry. He took my picture of me off of it, thank God, because I couldn't stand it. But this is a video of me doing the living benefit story. You've got your YouTube over here, walking through probably the best explanation for living benefit life you're ever going to see, and better way to save. And then you got red line, blue line with the updated numbers. And then we got in here how to explain indexing, so they actually know how it works. So in other words, if we started with $100,000 and we had a starting point right here, and we put the starting point, you got your little cheat sheet. These are the last 5 years of the numbers. So I put in here 1,662 was the starting point, and we ended that year at 1,888. You had a 226-point gain. And then down here it shows you right here, Wall Street got 13.6% gain, and you got a 13% gain. So we started at that percentage. This is just a, that's the cap, 13%. Then year two, we started at 1888, and then market finished that year. You got a little cheat sheet down here, 1355. That's really what happened. You stayed at 113. They lost 28% of their marketplace. Then over here, we opened at 1355, and we finished the year at 1203. You can see again our loss, and we're in a holding pattern. Then here, the market comes up and it slides up to 1486. And you can see here it's a 283-point gain, and you can see right there they climbed to 89,000. You climbed to 127. And in this last one right here, it jumps to 1674. 12.65% gain. They climbed to 100, and you're at 143. down here, we got the explanation. There's the verbiage, how indexing works. So you can actually read to them or memorize the words. That's how we do indexing. I think that's amazing. Then you got to plug in your illustration results. Remember, we've got the language, do nothing, buy an annuity, purchase an annuity, and convert to a Roth, or basically trade a tax-or asset for a tax-never asset. And then you can plug in the assets. Die too soon, become ill, or live long. You can put your numbers in. Again, this is all stuff we've been doing, things we've been talking about. Then you got your 401k calculator. We've got a real nice fill-in-the-blanks needs analysis. And then we get to go into, you closed, you made your sale, and now you're going to talk about facts, same or more. I think we agree you need to save more money for retirement, right? If I can help you find the 1,000 what you need, everyone has 200 to 300 friends, da-da-da-da. I mean, our language is right there, taking you to that step. And then we show them as a new agent, let's just say your monthly payment is $400. Putting the case, and let's just say that they're at 40%. You can put 40% in there. And it shows right there they made $960. We advanced them $720 up front. It shows that right there. You can show them what they're making. Then you can take them into our compensation in the base shop or their builder compensation. There's nothing not in this deal right here. So I am, like I said, ecstatic where we're at with all the little toys and tools here and taking it to the next level. So there's a lot of good stuff there, and I think it's one of the best calculators. But there's some great things also in this calculator that I didn't cover, and I got to find where they're at now. Wow. Did I open the wrong one? No, I couldn't have. So now I got to find, and maybe it's hidden here. I got to, no. I'm looking for a better way to save. And Jerry, I need your help for a quick second. Where is our Nike? Maybe it's these dollar symbols here. Nope, that's not it. I know we got something here special, so I need to find it, and I'm not seeing it. So I'm going to go to better way to save. And I'm thinking, for some reason, it might be at the bottom of this chart right here. No, it's not there. All right, Jerry, I'm going to have to unmute you for a second because I can't seem to locate what I want to find. Slider on the left. All right, I'm looking at that. Slider on the left. I'm definitely going to have to open this up for a quick second. I am a little, this is too important not to open, so I'm going to open your mic. Jerry?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me? All right, I'm trying to get to the Nike and the 1925 markets.
In the lower left-hand corner, you see those arrows going to the right? Click on the far right one.
The far right one, okay.
Right there, that one.
I see it. Thank you. Got it. Got it.
Okay.
Perfect. I see it. So now, let's go back historically. And, folks, this is the U.S. stock market from 1925 to 1956. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start with a 35-year-old. We're going to make this person a male. And we're going to start with $100,000. And over here, we're going to start with $100,000. So you can see right here, the markets went up in and we're going to use the same rules. We're going to have 13% no loss on the right-hand side, and on the left-hand side, we're going to have the market gains and market losses. But now we're able to see historically what a stagnant market can do to a person historically. And I think this is, to me, this is beyond anything you can humanly imagine. So I'm just going to scroll that over right here. This is historical data that we came up with. This is the, where Jerry found it. If I want to check the numbers, I want to make sure that we got everything proper there. But here's the bottom line. 1929, the market lost 12.67%. 1930, the market lost 20%. 1931 lost 42%. 1932 lost 5%. And those were all 4 years in a row, zeros on our side. They're down to 89,000 from the 1925 start, and we're at 156,000. The market rockets up 45% in 1933. We only got 13. So they moved up big time. Then the market went down 14%. Then the market, 1935, went up 46% again. You can see right there. And in 1936, it went up 25%. And then it lost 36. And you can see at that point it went all the way back down on the red line. And we're going to scroll down. 1956 to 1925, 32 years of results. You can see right there we finished at 386 market value. An aggregate return for that 30 years at 3.14. The IUL had 736,000. And then we go down, we scroll down, we factor in the taxes. So we'll put some fees in there, good old Wall Street fees if we've been in that marketplace. I'll put it 2.5%. And then I'll factor in some taxes. I'll just put it at a nice, comfortable 33%. And there's my cost of life insurance. We've got to add a couple more years of insurance costs, but the bottom line is 683 versus 123. That's a nice historical look back. We also did it with the Nike from 1989 to now. And I've always said if we started with a 35-year-old, gender male, and we'll start with $1 million. And we'll go over here and put $1 million inside the life insurance contract in 1989. And you can see right here, I just want to scroll to the very bottom. This is a market that never came back. It's never come back. Here it is at 2014. Your $1 million is worth $505,000. I'm at 3.3 million. Then you factor in, they've lost 50%. Then when you factor in your fees, and then when you factor in your taxes, I'll put in a 40% tax bracket. I'm at 2.8 million versus 117,000. That's a market that is a disaster. And you can see there were a lot of bad years, tons of bad years in the Japanese market. And so you've got all your marketplaces now. And folks, that is what a stagnant market is, and that's why nobody can beat you. You know, you've now got all your historical data. You've got the U.S. stock market from a stagnant standpoint, and now you've got your Japanese market stuff in there, and then you got your same or more stuff. So I'm going to go to Yamin. Yamin, you're in Houston, Texas. You're an engineering banking type person. With all these tools now, how dangerous are you?
Oh, this is powerful. Actually, I have an engineer. He's a principal in one of a large organization here. I showed him this, and he was saying, he was arguing with me about the cap versus non-cap, that he could make a lot of money and cover himself on the down market. And this is what I needed. So I explained that to him, and he understood it, but he was still you know, bullheaded about it. So I'm going to go take this tomorrow to him as soon as I get this and say, look, here's the Nike.
You got all kinds of decades of historical data now. Nobody can back you no more.
Absolutely, and I want $1 million from him because that's what he wants to do. But he's on the edge. So if I show him, I can pull him in and get his $1 million. His wife is a doctor, and she has a lot of money, but she doesn't know where to put it. And I said, don't listen to your husband. I'm the one, the expert here. Yes, there you go.
Uncle Yamin with all the money. Just don't forget one tiny detail. I expect you to save 10% of your cash flow. That's all I expect. Lots and lots of savings.
For advertising, yes.
And you got to advertise. Absolutely. This is
Yes.
amazing. So now I'm gonna go. I'm gonna slide up here. I'm gonna go to my friend in Florida, my attorney friend from CPA, Stephen Adams. Mr. Adams, how are you today?
I'm well today, sir. Good to hear you.
Tell me, of all this historical data, does this make you bulletproof?
Yeah, it's amazing. We can go look back all the time, and you said, Yameen's got a point there. You still got these bullheaded guys who are going to say, yeah, but that's no guarantee what the future is. It's like you shake your head and you say, look at all this stuff in the back end. Those that don't pay attention to history are destined to repeat it. And this is some very, very powerful information. You can show different markets, different time frames. Those that want to diversify into foreign exchanges, we've got it covered here.
I think at this point in time, the ability to move money, we're going to be able to move money. I can't picture not moving money at this point in time. And if a person wants to stay at risk after learning all these things today, I have no logical understanding of a person would stay in a risk factor. But I knew the Japanese market was a disaster. $1 million invested in 1989 after fees and taxes was down to $117,000. That's not good. I mean, that's a disaster.
Yeah, Forrester came out with an article just showing that we're way beyond the bubble right now. There's 25 different industry charts that are showing that we're months beyond where it should be crashing. And if that's not, it puts some urgency into what we're doing, I don't know what else will.
Well, I want to tell you, I told you we're working on the enhancements. We have left nothing to imagination in the school, have we?
No, and it keeps getting better.
And this keeps, and I want you to know something. This makes our group in FEG unique to the rest of FEG. We're not sharing all this with the rest of FEG, all these little extra add-ons. They got the calculator, but not all the historical data and everything. Which, if we get out there and we start moving, and remember, my goal, Mr. Adams, is we have two things that are very important. Number one, for us to develop each person ourselves individually to $1,000 a week in monthly premium. Because at $50,000 a month of life production, are you making a decent living?
Yeah, that's nothing to sneeze at, especially when you consider that it's once you get that momentum, it's kind of hard to revert back to where you were and to slow down. Once you get up to that speed, you're on your way.
The second thing is to develop 20 people in your organization doing the exact same thing. And why do you want to do that? Because when you show same or more, you're going to bring lots of part-timers into it, but eventually someone's going to go, they're going to quit their daytime job when they start doing $1,000 a week, wouldn't they? As they take control of life and get put into business, and you develop those 20 people inside that structure. Well, 20 people in our exit strategy in 3 years, I don't know your age, sir, but in 3 years, if you're able to have for example, close to, if not more, a $10 million exit plan, could you retire?
Way before that, but yeah, 10 years makes it really nice.
I said 3 years, but $10 million.
Yeah, there you go. Now we're talking.
Could you work hard for 3 years and give us that $1,000 a week clip, and then develop 20 people? I didn't say 200 or 2,000, just 20 people doing the exact same thing. It's hard. This is not, none of what we're doing is easy. This is hard work. But if you did that effort for 3 years, and you exited with not only the commissions you made for 3 years, but more importantly, you exited with about a $10 million exit as the agency got sold, is that enough for you to retire with some comfort?
Absolutely.
Is that worth the effort?
Yes, it is.
So what I'm asking
people would give their eye teeth for an opportunity to be able to work hard for 3 years with that kind of an incentive and that kind of realistic goal in place. And that's all we need to share with those that can see that vision and will generate that own drive, and they're out there. It's just a matter of finding them.
So when you understand our compensation plan, it's the fairest compensation plan in the world. A person can have my contract, your contract. In other words, in our contract structure, they could have the old-fashioned stuff that doesn't have an exit strategy, has a big fat commission point to it, or they can be in this type of compensation plan that allows you to have the same contract as me, go all the way to the top, actually override the entire company, and have the ability to exit, and it's in the contract, sharing the proceeds of the sale of the company. There's no bigger, better opportunity than I've ever seen across the country. And if you're an attorney, I think you would agree that that's about the fairest comp plan when a person has the exact same, same comp plan, each person coming to the table, nobody's held back by performance. Everybody can be at the very top of the contract. And I think that's important. So I wanted having you basically say the same thing, but 3 years of hard work, very hard work. I'm going to take us from Stephen in Florida. I'm going to go to let's see here, Sacramento to Michael Andrews. Michael Andrews, how are you, sir?
Good morning, Dave.
What do you think of our new tool?
I love it.
Now, every time we've enhanced this tool, everybody's gotten excited. You've got 2 people in your group that are already starting to produce. I need from you a 3-year commitment. A 3 years of where you work harder than you've ever worked in your entire life. That means you're maintaining that $1,000 a week mentality yourself each week, week in and week out. Now, Michael, when this is over in 3 years, remember, you got, Amin's job is to get 20 people. Brett's job is to get 20 people. Brown's job is to get 20 people to 1,000 a week. But for you, in your group, you want to get your own 20 people direct. Get that number down. Are you willing to work that hard?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, it starts with you sending out this file. You know that, right?
I kind of figured you might say that.
So can I get you to commit to send that out to the troops today?
Well, I do want to review a couple of numbers, but I might send this out to a couple of people today. I want to make sure we got our numbers correct. We want to get, actually, I'm not going to send it out today because I want to make sure we got the insurance cost on a couple of things correct. So we've got a little bit, probably about 48 hours to be ready. But I can tell you right now, you can't take this historical data and lose, can you?
No, not at all. Now, I'm looking at this guarantee column there. Have you touched on that yet? I don't think you've touched on that. That's something
I'm going there next. We ask people to explain guarantees.
Oh, yeah.
There it is, right there, guarantees. And then now you've got it in front of the client, the same calculator, and now you can talk about guarantees while you're talking to them. How about that, sir?
That's awesome. It's amazing.
There's nothing left in here left to the imagination. Everything is there. Nobody, and I mean nobody, can lose. It's a pretty big deal, isn't it? I'm paying attention to the comments as they're coming up. 20 people doing 1,000 a week. That means this week, next week, and each week physically going forward. We don't want to miss that $1,000 a week club. So this is, Sherry wants me to scroll down, so I'm going to scroll down. Thank you, Jerry. I forgot about that. There's your language. There's your language, what to say for the above. Cheat sheets. Pretty smart. There's nothing left to the imagination. So, Michael, what's next for your team? What's your objective? What's your push this week?
Well, today being Thursday, the push is basically just to continually stay in front of people. So that's exactly what we need to do. That's so that's pretty simple.
And do you know how to get that done? I'm going to tell you how to get it done. I'm going to give you the language right. It's right here on the calculator. This is how you see all the people you ever wanted, right here. Folks, not going to kid anybody here. The effort you put in for the next 3 years is very simple. But you have to solve several things for the insurance person. First off, you've got amazing products and an amazing tool to tell a story. Now, what do we do with you folks in the story? We're making you focus, and I mean this wholeheartedly. We're making you focus on one thing: going after the 401k, the contribution, the matching funds, the whole smash and drill. We're leaving nothing to the imagination, which means there's a benchmark, and the benchmark is simple. The $1,000 club is the point. That's where, for you, that is where life begins. Because when you are cash flowing 30 to 35K a month, you can now afford to do what? You can afford advertising. You can now save the proper amount of money in your household. And at that point, you're able to put away $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year yourself. At that point, you can spend $50,000, $60,000 a year on advertising. People with assets will come to your office. Do we want you in a strategic partnership office? Absolutely. I'm not sacrificing that. I'm not sacrificing credibility for one iota. I love credibility factor. So life begins at $1,000. If people come through and you close them down, same or more, if you convert insurance agents to that mentality, you have to understand something. You are putting people in business. And as you put people in business, now they're bringing to the table their natural market. This is better than referrals. This is a friend taking a friend to another person. We've been doing that. A friend takes to another friend. We've eliminated the prospecting issue. You will, within 60 days, if you follow our system, be buried regardless of where you're at in the United States in appointments. So not only do you advertise, bringing new people in, but you're also putting people in business, and you're teaching them to work their natural market. And if they go full-time and get placed in a location, guess what? If they go full-time and get placed in a location, they'll do advertising also. But this is all about an exit. 3 years to prosperity. 3 years to an exit. If you're sitting here today and you're going like, well, Dave, I'm recruiting, but I'm not making any money, you're not working our system. If you're here and you are not making money, you did something wrong. Okay? There's no question about it. Our system is foolproof. It is designed to keep you buried in activity. There's nobody here that shouldn't have an abundance of appointments. All you got to do is you got to start someplace. You got to, it begins with activity. It begins with this language. Are you saving for retirement? Great. I hope they are matching your contribution. I want to show you how to have 300% more income without investing 1 penny more. They're going to let you show it. And with this tool, with the tools you've seen here and our formula, you're golden. You're off to the races. There's nobody here that can't take that question and start doing activity. Now, you heard Gene Martin say yesterday, it's a two-step approach. Well, I believe it is. In fact, I know it is. It's a two-step approach. You got to go there, you got to educate, and then collect their data. And then you got to get back with them, and you got to close it. There's nobody here that's going to refute it. They either want to be able to retire with dignity or not. They either want to be fed to death or not. They either want to eliminate volatility and risk or not. They either, and this is the biggest one, the biggest obstacle. I'll put it in big blocks here. They either want to pay taxes and be destroyed or not. You see, right now, taxes are what they are. And either they go and siphon off 30 to 40% of your money based on current tax brackets, that's not so bad. But what if they do raise taxes? What if they raise taxes by the gazillions? That is a legal way, not illegal, a legal way to practically take away your nest egg. What if taxes went to 63% like that book says from the Congressional Budget Office? What if it does go to 88%? In essence, the government could step in and steal your 401k with taxation. Are you willing to let that happen? I don't know what's more lethal, the market going down and not coming back, or the government raising taxes and taking your money away from you from a tax standpoint. They're both lethal. They're both dangerous. I'm going to go to Stephen Adams. Where are you, Stephen? There you are. Good morning, Mr. Adams. How's Texas treating you?
Oh God, it's great. A little cool today, but we like cool weather.
Here's the great news. It doesn't matter what the insurance industry changes on their NAIC things. Everything we're doing here is just to educate our representatives. And since we recruit everybody, they're our representatives, right? That's just
Correct.
Historical data. The insurance illustration is only going to be the numbers that we're allowed to show. But remember we put the power of 72 in our presentation?
Correct.
Well, if you got a program that has averaged the last 20 years at 10%, but I'm only illustrating at 7, this means one more double.
Well, this is my point. On the illustration software, when we get down into the allocation on the index, it actually allocates it at those higher percentages. Are we going to have to change that, or can we leave those as?
No, that's our caps. I'm not changing it.
Now there you go. Thanks for the clarification.
We're not. Why would I change? All that is for educational purposes. How the index works. That's all it is. It's not their illustration from the insurance company that they have to sign for. True.
Yeah, the allocation it does not represent the cap. It actually represents the average over the 15 and 20 year look back.
All that's doing is demonstrating past historical fact. The past does not indicate at all what the future might hold. The future might be 25 years of zero return. We don't know. But when the NAIC comes out and says this summer the most you can illustrate at is 7% or 7.5%, whatever that figure is, I have no issues with it because we have an amazing educational tool that has nothing to do with a hypothetical illustration. All we're doing is teaching our future representatives how this program works. It's for educational purposes only. It is not to reflect what their program will do for them. We don't know what the program's going to do because the past cannot be an indication for the future, right?
That's correct.
But if the past repeats itself, how did we do against that Japanese market in the past?
Killed it.
Exactly. So if I go in here, like you said for a second, and I'm just going to do this really fast here, better way to save, and I'm going to go back to the Japanese market. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to do one thing that you just said to do. So I'm going to go, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Whoops, I didn't. I want to take my, whoops, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get to the top of this thing. So what do I want to do here?
I guess what I was saying was on the actual illustration software, like from LSW or from F&G is prime example, and we have the allocation. The allocation percentages right now on the F&G are showing 8.
Watch this. So what I'm doing here, wow, hold on a second. I'm having a really difficult time getting to the top of this calculator with my computer. So I'm scrolling this up to the very top. And now all I want to do is now move that over to the other side. I did that. So now I'm going in here into this box. Oops. I just want to get in there. Wow. Bear with me for 1 second. All I want to do is change my, maybe you won't let me change the cap. No, I'm in there now. So I'm moving my cap to 7%. Did you see what I did there?
Yep.
Which is not factual, but I'm using that as a thing. I moved my cap over, and I moved that back over there. And now in this Japanese market, I'm scrolling down. Let's pretend my cap was 7. Wow. And then I'm going to go like this. Bring this back up here. Instead of having gazillions of dollars, I'm at 1.6 million up to 7% versus 117,000. But I'm illustrating a projected rate of 7. But guess what? I still got a 13% cap, don't I?
Yep.
Now I'm going to move this over here for 1 quick second. Oops, I did it again. I keep hitting the wrong low box. And I want to get back up here to the very top. I'm going to move that back over now, and I'm going to go into this box if I can get back in there properly. That's not it. And I'm going to move this to 13.5, which is F&G. And I'm going to go in here and go 0.25, which is my 0.25%, which is my F&G cap. And then I'm going to scroll down. I'm at $2.9 million of difference for all those years. Now, my net return is not that exciting in that example. I just showed a 4.47 average, didn't I?
Yep.
Stephen?
Yes. Yes.
Are you there?
Yeah. I'm
so
here.
In that example, did I show a 7? Did I show a 7% across the board in my calculator? No, I didn't. My actual return for that illustration here, this calculator, is only 4.47%, isn't it?
Correct.
That's all I demonstrated, 5.06, and then I took my insurance costs off. I actually demonstrated way below the 7% figure, didn't I?
Yes.
I'm playing by the rules, and I'm doing it for educational purposes. And then we're going in and we're teaching guarantees, aren't we? So
yes.
You're in Texas. Tell me what you're going to be able to do going forward this next 4 weeks. Give me a picture. Paint me a picture where you're at.
Well, it's a matter of are you saving for retirement? Are you getting matching funds? Let me show you how you can get 300% more, and let's just work this calculator to death. The thing is, I'll probably spend a good half hour with the calculator alone because it's going to be such a fun tool to work with. But having said that, I've got weapons.
I would like to see you where you've got people coming in, working in your natural market, doing your system, get your office location, and I'd like to see you at the $1,000 club. I mean, literally this week if possible, but I'll take next week. How do I get you into the $1,000 club? Because that's all that matters. That's where your life begins at. So how far are we from getting you to the 1,000 marker?
Well, it's activity is getting face-to-face and in front of people. And we can do so much on the phone. We can do so much emails and through just getting your face out there, if you will, on social media. Ultimately, you've got to get face-to-face with people.
Okay. Well, I want to do whatever it takes to get you to that level in the next 7 days. Because once you're at that $1,000 club marker, does that change your household?
Absolutely.
Is there any reason not to get there?
No, and in fact, I'm hoping to be on there by this weekend. So
I'm gonna put you on hold, and if you need me today, I want you to call me because I want to make sure I want you at that level. It's important. So I need to go to Bill in Colorado. Bill, does this help you at all today? Mr. Fugit, are you able to be live? I'll put you back on hold. Bob T2 in I think Minneapolis. Bob.
Hey there, David. Can you hear me?
Are you getting excited yet?
Yeah, no, this is good stuff. I love the calculator. The tweaks are perfect.
So as we enhance this, there's three big questions. Number one question is, how long is it going to take for me to get you into the $1,000 club?
Yeah, we got some business to write here, Dave. Look for some apps. I've got one ready to deliver from a week ago on $5,000 a target, and I've got similar to follow.
So I want to get you to be a consistent $1,000 a week monthly premium club member. What do I have to do to get you to that club status?
Just keep doing what you're doing. I missed one of your calls this week, and I hate it every time that happens. It doesn't happen too often.
Are you excited about today's call?
Very much so.
All right. Between you and Darren, how do we get? This is what and I know Darren's with us. I'm going to make Darren join me and you live because he's part of your team. So we're going to go. Darren Delane's going to be live also. Darren, your mic is muted. What do we have to do to develop 20 people in your guys' group to do $1,000 a week? How long are we waiting?
You know, Darren and I have to make real something we've been talking about, and we've got to get a local meeting, both a recruitment meeting as well as a training, and then we got to get people patched in with you and learning the verbiage.
We got the verbiage. All the cheat sheets are at the bottom of all these pages. So, and we can end the prospecting issues. So I want the two of you, because you guys are in the backyard of Minnesota, and I'm going to close on both of you right there because it's really loud. But I definitely want the two of you to really work with me to get that done. I'm going to go to Brett, who's got his hand up in San Antonio. Hey, Brett, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Yourself?
Good. Do you like what you see today?
Yeah, I love it. I was sending you a message. Are we going to have access to this today?
You might have it. I don't think. I'm probably going to give access to it, but you'll have to destroy this one. I want to get the insurance costs. Make sure we got the insurance costs right on the new enhanced calculation sections for the the 25 and 30 year lookbacks. So Jerry's got a little bit more work to do, but this is about 99% there. So if this will help you get I want to get you to the $1,000 club this week, Brett. What do I got to do to get you to the $1,000 club in San Antonio?
Keep providing things of this nature, and I'll make it just naturally. It's impossible not to with these kind of tools.
Do you realize that $1,000 a week, what that does to your life?
Quite. Yes.
So are you doing LSW or are you doing F&G Life? Just curiosity.
Primarily, I look at F&G as the primary product, and LSW is my fallback.
Okay. Well, where are we at this week for you? Where are we at this week? Give me a ballpark where you think you'll finish this week in production.
Well, I'm looking to finish this week in production, hopefully around 200 or 300. I've had some things I've had to take care of personal that's kind of interrupted in this week.
I need you at $1,000 a week every week, sir.
I understand that. That's where I need to be.
$1,000 a week keeps everybody happy at home, don't you think?
Yes.
it's a magic number. It's a good number. And since I want to beat all our competition in FEG, I've got to get as many people as possible to that 1,000-hour club. Very important. But anyway, Brett, if you need my help this week, let me know, and I'll do whatever I can do, okay?
I definitely will. Thanks a lot, David.
I am going to go to, as I scroll up here, I'm going to go to Millsap. I haven't talked to Millsap in a long time. Open your mic, Carlos. How are you today?
Fantastic. How about yourself?
I am super. Penny for your thoughts today.
Well, we have to give kudos to Jerry. Jerry's the genius behind these calculators, and he never ceases to amaze me. If this, the calculators, the design of it is a natural process. Huh?
Sunday night, I got him to join me with Jerry Sunday night, and we collaborated. And he asked me what I wanted on my wish list, and these are all things I asked for on the wish list, and he did all of it. And I just said, like, wow. And I think now there's nothing we can't accomplish out in the field. What do you think?
I agree.
I mean,
I agree.
So I'm going to ask you a question. Think about this for a second. With all these tools, and not worrying about the advertising programs or all the other, life insurance things, how long is it going to take a person that they really want to, from start to finish? You worked at WFG. You tackled all of that stuff. How long would it take you to take this knowledge and get yourself structured where you started to bring people in, same or more clothes, to put them in your base shop, to where you had enough activity to make sure you're constantly signing off on your net 50% of the app to put you at $1,000 a week net each week? What does that change your life, Mr. Millsap, if you're at $1,000 a week?
Absolutely. What happens with this this calculator, it helped the newbies, anybody that's new in this industry, and even the veterans, be able to clearly help them to clearly demonstrate what the IUL can do, where there was some kind of gray area in the past, as far as trying to explain this to somebody. This right here just removes all the doubt, and it allows them to see based on historical data, and it just takes all the guesswork out of it. So I think somebody that can come in and have a working understanding of the IUL and can take these tools and be able to make help somebody make the right decision of getting into an IUL or getting an IUL.
So from a time frame, once you have enough people feeding you against 401k contributions, which is what we're going after by being very focused and streamlined, is it reasonable from start to finish, 60 days to get that person up to speed to master all of this to be effective in the field?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's very reasonable.
Is it?
Nope.
And this is all, you're a pastor, so this is a very important question. We've shared a lot with FEG, but all these extra enhancements, do we really need to share any more with them?
Well, I think that if we think beyond that, we're looking at the people that we can help. We're trying to get people money out of harm's way. So it's just really not
keep sharing no matter what. Just keep
absolutely,
sharing.
Absolutely, because we have to think client first.
Okay. I just asking. I mean, I'm open to anything at this point on that subject. Well, I've got the mic open. I don't know if anybody in our group has a great speaking voice, but this is coming from Darren Delaney. If anyone has a good voice for recording, he's doing a campaign to realtors. And I can show a team how to get as many leads as they want for any SIC code and any zip code. If someone wants to help me record the script, call me, or do you want to do it? Nah, my voice is not strong enough for that.
He can actually hire somebody on Fiverr.
And Darren, if you heard that, you can hire somebody on what?
Fiverr, Fiverr.com for $5.
Fiverr, for $5.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, so Darren, if you heard that, Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com.
Yep.
Stephen Adams down in Texas, he's done voiceover. So Stephen, if you text over your info to me, I'll forward it over to him. And at Braswell, people would do anything for $5. She says, we talk about sportfiber.com, F-I-V, not B, F-I-V-E-R-R.com. I am just interested in getting everybody to that first level. Because let's face it, and Carlos, I know you're a competitive person, right?
Absolutely.
How important is it for us to go into the July meeting in Minnesota with this region in first place?
Well, you know, Dave, you know, as much it is to be in first place, you know, my main competitor is always myself. You know, I try to push to, you know, each and every day to see if I'm getting the most out of myself. So I always have my blinders on. Each and every day I'm trying to get a little bit more out of myself, and always trying to help those who are within my my agency to do the same for themselves. And if we do that, then you know, that means that we'll blow everybody else out the water.
Okay. So where do you see yourself in 60 days?
Oh man, with what we're working on right now,
yeah.
I see that my agency or the people that's working with us, we're probably going to be at least 100 plus applications per week. You know, with the mixture of term as well as IUL and some annuities as well, because we have
so
a very
you're basically saying at that level of production, I can afford all the Twinkies I want to eat.
Absolutely.
I'm kidding. So, hope you got that.
Yep.
Talk about getting at 100 apps a week. Do you think you'll have that level done by the time we get to Minnesota?
Absolutely, beyond a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, because you know, we put a lot of hard work into this, and we've had some bumps in the road, but I think we got everything just about ironed out now. It's going to go nationwide here relatively quickly.
Now, do I need to do anything other than doing what I'm doing right now for your group for the 100 apps a week, or do you want me to do anything special to help you?
No, we're good. We've got everything step by step. You know, we did some training on it yesterday. We're doing some transferring of people. We're putting some people into the system. So we got a good little setup that's going here. So it's going to take off in a hurry.
Got their deal too with Petco yesterday. I thought that was really good.
Absolutely.
So, are you counting the Martins in 100 apps a week underneath your group?
Nope, not at all. This is totally separate deal.
What do you think that production will be on top of your 100 apps a week from them?
Well, they're projecting about the same. You know, I think they're looking at within the next 30 days doing about 50 a week. And so we're going to see them ramp up really quickly.
That puts you at almost close to 600 apps a month. Am I reading that right?
Absolutely.
And average premium size, in your opinion, what do you think our average premium size is going to be?
I'd say it's going to be somewhere around $80 per month.
So basically $1,000 a head. So you're basically looking at about $600,000 a month out of your region?
I would say that would be a good number.
Does that kind of move you up towards the top of the totem pole?
Absolutely. And see, that's just the first tier. See, the first tier is getting that portion of it. The second tier, you know, involves, you know, a drip email campaign. So now we're getting into the IULs and all the rollover stuff. So that's
now let me ask you a question. The uniqueness of our compensation plan. And I want everybody to hear this. You and I both know Bob Miller, right?
Absolutely.
And Bob Miller, is he not one of the most luckiest men in the world to have reached out to you a couple of years ago by Craigslist?
Oh yeah, he's going to do quite well financially.
He's going to override your organization by 5 layers, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to move to the very top, but he still gets 5 layers of compensation off your group. What do you think that equals out to? Even if it comes out to a paltry $15,000, $20,000 a month, is that bad?
Not bad at all.
He's never cut out, is he?
Never. Yep. And there's some other people that's in the hierarchy they've got something that's launching really soon. You know, that's humongous.
What I'm trying to say is that when someone's out there recruiting and they end up bagging an elephant, like you and the judge, for lack of a better word, they should never worry about bagging the elephant, right?
Right.
Because you never know what's going to happen.
You never know.
Just don't know. You guys are seizing this opportunity. You're going to put this deal together. You guys are going to rocket ship your deal to 600 apps a month, and at 600 grand. And while that won't, I know you don't look at that first place, and you're not that competitive a person. But but guess what? I am, right?
Right.
I'm a very competitive individual. Do you think I'm grateful for all that's happening inside our group?
Absolutely, I know you are.
Do you think I care about the client?
Yes, you do.
No question about it. I think we have a chance to do things we've never done before this next handful of months. And while we get remunerated a few pennies for our efforts, I think we go in to the contest this next few months, and from a standpoint of like football or baseball, however you want to look at it, I don't think anybody has a chance to beat this region. Not on the substance that we bring to the table. And for those of you focusing in on the $1,000 club, going after the 401k type contribution, I think that is the greatest thing we've ever done. Because people can lose every penny to taxation and risk over the next 2 or 3 years if they don't watch it. And I think that is by far more superior than the few pennies we get paid to do it. That's what I think, anyway, for whatever it's worth. And I know, Carl, you're the same. You've got to be from the same standpoint as that. You wouldn't have stayed if it didn't make that much of a difference.
Right.
So, with that said, Carlos, I know tomorrow you got are you doing a breakfast meeting tomorrow morning?
Yes.
Okay. You have a good thing there. If you need me today, I'm going to be traveling back into the Carolinas. If you need me to pick up the phone. And folks, we're about 1 or 2 minutes on top of the hour. I really want to thank all of you for participating this morning. We're on the verge of amazement. I think as we take FEG to $100 million, I believe this region is good for this year between 30 and 40 million of it. And if we do 30 to 40 million dollars of that production, I think that's a big difference. You got 3 years. 3 years to get yourself to where you got a chance for you and your family to not only make a great income, do great work for your fellow friends, relatives, and old associates, but you got a chance for an exit that's never going to exist again. It's that once in a moment, and it's in your contract. And if you allow yourself to work as hard as we work, and you take it, and you realize if you got to learn, you got to educate, you got to be in the streets, you got to hit your bogey each week, and then develop that 15, 20 people to get that number, that's a $10 million exit. I can tell you there's 5 or 6 people here that are absolutely going to hit that exit number, including myself. In 3 years, I am retired. Carlos, in 3 years, $10 million, are you retired?
Absolutely.
Are you going to enjoy life with your missus?
Absolutely. Yes, we
go
are.
Do good work and go to nursing homes on the weekends and pray for people?
Absolutely.
I'm not stopping that. So with that said, folks, God bless everybody. Have a great day. We'll see you all fight the good fight tomorrow morning. For those who got activities on Friday morning, make those activities count. We'll see you all in the winner's circle tomorrow. Have a great day. You've been on the Daily Call with Dave Weiner.